What's up, guys? Subzeroark here. Today we're reviewing a game from an absolute insane player, one of the best in North America, up and comer, honestly very underrated. His name is Subzeroark, and yeah, we're just gonna see what he. Okay, so yeah, we're watching one of my own games today. It should be kind of interesting. This is a game. Well, I won't spoil too much, but this is a strategy that I used to climb a lot over this weekend. I basically started at like 0 LP and I ended, I mean, I would like to say I stopped at like around 300 LP, but then I entered some games and it got much worse from there. First thing you're going to see here is that Renekton can solo out 1/4 creeps. So put Renekton in the top left corner. You have to put him in this slot, and then he can solo out 1/4 creeps. So the strategy is we're going to use Renekton, make 10 gold at 1/4, so get as much econ as possible, and we are starting with the Vladimir Legend. We are going to take almost all Vladimir augments, and we are going to hard force Shurima from this spot, because I think it's one of the strongest comps in the game. See some fine stuff, but always take Prismatic Transfusion. Okay, maybe not always, but usually this is one of the few rounds where you actually have to make a decision. You can choose to field whatever you want here to kill as many units as possible. But yeah, I wanted to watch this game because I think this is a really cool strategy. I think obviously people know Shurima is strong, but they're not playing it exactly the way that I'm playing it. And I think there's some really cool things that you can do to save HP in the mid game and to cap out your board, item choices, that kind of stuff. I also want to rewatch the game just because, hey, like maybe I made some mistakes. And so like maybe we can go over those together. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay, you'll notice what I'm doing every fight, by the way, is scouting all of my opponents. I really do not want to break my loss streak here. And you need to scout for a killable unit. So like if there was someone really strong here, I wouldn't have made this Maokai 2 because maybe it would have stopped me from like actually losing the fight, right? What if I'm fighting someone with all 1 stars units? We still haven't killed a single unit yet, but all good. The most important thing is that we keep the loss streak. Any amount of HP is fine, though. Ideally, you kill some units and you're chilling. We managed to find Talia here. One thing I will point out, broken units in the early game, your BIS board, we didn't hit it this game, but like you see, I'm putting some of the units in right now. Cho'Gath, Renekton, Talia, and Cassiopeia. You get 3 Shurima and 2 Bruiser in. That's actually not the most important thing. The most important thing is that Renekton's a good tank, and then Cho, Talia, and Cassio are all insane single target damage dealers. They will just, Cassio focus down a target, Talia focus down a target, and Cho focus down a target. If you can get all 3 of them to focus on one target, you are chilling. We have a bow here, so I imagine I try to go for a static shiv, but then I see there's not a 3 cost tier, so I'm just going to say F it and go for some tank items. Tank items are very good in this comp. An item like Warmogs is very solid because Shuriman's scale off of HP. They heal for a certain percentage of their HP, so more HP, more good for Shurima. But yeah, you'll see here, I think I end up pivoting into just the board. Yep, exactly. The other nice thing about this board is that it allows you to get 3/2 Shurima augments. So you can take like Shurima +1, you can take the Sun Disc one. So yeah, but you'll see all of my units now are focusing on this Viego. They do not have Rogan, so we easily one tap the Viego. And now look at this, Talia and Cassie are focusing down this set. Don't end up killing him, but we get him very, very low, and we kill the unit. So very nice. But yeah, I've had early games that have gone like even way better than this, where I'm like 67 after 5 lossing it. You see here actually that we notice that there's a Poppy player, and so we just have to make sure. What I'm going to do here is hold on to this Renekton. Okay, I kind of fucked it up. But what you're supposed to do there is hold on to the Renekton, or you can do the same thing like this. But I hold on to a crucial unit, and then I hover their board. And if I see them changing their board, then I'm just going to hit my sell button and sell that unit. So that's a nice little APM thing that you can do, where like if they start to pivot their board, you can just sell the unit immediately and you'll be fine. Because you don't need to hold, you don't need any of these units to play this comp. It's obviously like good, but yeah, you don't actually like need any of them. I love it for Teemo here. I probably don't even need to, but if you get any gold from Krugs, then you can still make econ here, so it's fine. We don't have any upgrades yet. Ideally, by this stage, you hit like 1 or 2 upgrades, and then you can use those to carry you through the rest of the stage. So like that's why we have this Cassio pair here, and then we end up doing it Cassio too. Okay, so that's great. Oh, I do actually. What I really like to do here. See, we're 69 gold here because we made an insane amount of gold. What you can do is you can pre-level to 6 here. So I believe I don't actually make Cassio 2 just so I can pre-level to 6, which, like, I don't know. Maybe you can say that's a mistake. Making Cassio 2 would be kind of nice. We're gonna end up losing, like, the question is, does the pre-level to 6, like, is that worth, like, the HP that we're gonna lose by not making Cassio 2? And, like, we'd already kill a unit here. Like, we probably, like, this play is probably a bit too much, just getting the pre-level value, not making Cassio 2, but, it's not bad. These augments are fine, but Battle Ready is very good in this comp. I'm gonna making Cassio 2 anyway, so, like, never mind, all good. We see the Swain, which I think is actually stronger than this Lysandra here for Strategist. Big shield onto our front line and some damage on our back line. So yeah, this is our board for now. And we're going to continue to lose streak, okay? It's a little bit scary if you are someone who's uncomfortable playing low HP totals, which I definitely am. Um, like, I think I think it's a bit scary for sure. But I do still think, like, I mean, one, it's just good to sort of like gain the skill of being able to play around lost streak. Also, I think I just barely win this fight, which is actually so bad. It's so nuts that I end up winning this fight. But yeah, just barely win it. So we're actually down like 6 gold, right? Because 3 gold for this round and then 3 gold for this coming round. We're down 6 gold from where we normally be would normally be. So it actually feels a little bit bad, but it's fine. It's fine because we're still relatively rich because we got a decent amount of gold off Krugs. One of the best things that you can do for this comp is one, make the 10 early on, and two is like make the gold off Krugs. So yeah, which is, I mean, obviously not something that you control. Yeah, do we end up? Yeah, we end up fighting this filter player and winning this fight as well. So I guess it doesn't. It's no diff. We see Carousel here. There is an Azir with sword, which is perfect. Because I believe we have a rod open. Oh wait, no, we have cloak open. But sword is actually really really good in this comp. Most AP comps you don't think of sword being really strong in them, but Gunblade is BIS in this comp and Shojin is BIS in this comp. Shojin on Lux. We end up hitting Teemo here, so we are going to level, and now we're going to roll down for our board. We find a Belveth here, which you can just play as a sort of like flex unit. We end up hitting this version of the board, which isn't too bad. And I believe when I scouted, I realized that like we weren't actually super contested. I think if you are super contested, it is completely fine to roll to 0. That's what I did in a lot of my games on the climb. Is you just roll it to 0 here, because if you find Lux, or if you like high roll a 0-2, then you are absolutely chilling. But I realized that we're uncontested this game, so we don't actually have to roll to 0. We can just roll to 20. We have the Azir. We found our backline units 2-starred, which is important. We don't really need Taric, but hitting a Swain 2 would be good. So eventually, either Swain or Teemo is going to come out. Yeah, I don't know. I consider getting Void in here, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is stronger. And it allows us to guarantee to make gold. So yeah, we have a pretty decent board now, but we're still a bit far off. But yeah, I mean, best case scenario, obviously, you're uncontested in this comp. That's true for every game. But like this style of play where you just roll it down at 3-5, I think the reason why I wanted to just start doing this is because I noticed that this comp was so contested, and I thought, okay, if I send it 0-3-5 and you just hit like an Azir 2 or something, you can start taking the units out of the pool before everyone else has them. It's a very degenerate meta right now. There's only really two strong level like 4 cost comps. It's this and Ionia Yasuo. So I just feel like if you aren't rolling it to 0 in situations like this, then you are at a big disadvantage. Also, just people like to roll deep to stabilize. Yep, we are just going to roll it to 0 here. We find a Cassante. But like, honestly, Cassante is not even that insane in this comp, because you want to play Azir, you want to play Talia. I don't really like cutting Talia for Cassante. And Nasus is like a better tank than Cassante. I actually had a game where I hit an early Cassante 2 on 7 because I'm just a high roller. And then I'm pretty sure I ended up bot 4 in that game just because Cassante could not tank. And I was like, man, I kind of wish I just hit Jarvan instead of Cassante. But yeah, you see we are one off of like basically everything. Ascension is very good in this comp. There are also other really, really good augments. Anything that makes your board tankier. Like I'm pretty sure I'm stats checking all of these. But Ascension is very good. Jeweled Lotus is also very good, but I don't even have the Lux yet. But here, boom, I hit the shop, I hit the Jarvan plus Lux. Now we can pivot to the real board and then continue to roll it down because we're one off everything. Boom, that is a Azir 2, and now we have our board. I will say the board looks stable, right? One would think. I'm pretty sure I should slam Shojin here, but maybe I wait. Shojin is very good on Lux. I think Redemption. Okay. I've become more like Shojin pilled recently. I mean, I don't know. Third tank item Redemption on Nasus is really, really good. So I don't beat this play out of myself, but in hindsight, actually in hindsight, maybe this is correct. It's like getting a third tank out on Nasus is really good. We have Ascension as well. And then honestly, this should probably become Gunblade. Okay, actually, Okay, I think I'm a genius. I think Past Me is a genius. I'm pretty sure Redemption Gunblade is way better than like Shojin plus whatever else we would have made. Shojin plus Giant Spelt item. I guess it could have been like Shojin, but like yeah, I'm pretty sure Gunblade is Bis here, and you just put it on Azir. But yeah, I don't know. Like I've been thinking more recently that like maybe just itemizing Lux is the way to go if possible. But like obviously in this spot we hit Azir too. But also like look at what this Nasus unit does. I've heard people say, like I'm pretty sure Dish Soap in his video. Ooh, there's Lux Pair here, which like is really hard to pass up, and it has a giant belt. Um, I wonder. I think I do take the rod though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm like getting this Gunblade, especially with Ascension, is way too important, which I agree with in hindsight. Especially with Ascension. So yeah, and we just get to make Gunblade on 0-2. I would roll it here probably just because of the way this, just how much I've been burned in the past. Like so many times, I'm like, oh, surely this board's stable. But like if I had Nasus too, maybe I wouldn't roll it here. But yeah, I got 30 gold. I should probably roll it to 0 here. I think the nice thing is that these types of matchups, as long as they don't have too many assassins, are actually really favorable. Like Kled can just never get through this front line, and then Azir just wrecks him. So this is actually a really favorable matchup for Azir. I should definitely roll it here though. Oh my god. I know what happens this game. I don't roll it here because I'm like, oh, I'm fine. And then I fight the Tristana player and lose. I'm like 99% sure that's what happened. I think I recall this. I mean, if you were ever in the spot, please just roll, man. Please. Don't think that a Azir 2 makes you stable. Unless you have a Azir 2, Nasus 2, and maybe like unless you have like 3 out of 4 cost 2 starred. Like the big thing is that if you have any 4 cost pairs, I like to just roll it down to 0. Um maybe not always to 0, but at least to like 10. But like imagine if we had anything here. A Azir 2, well, we already have a 0-2, but if we had Lux 2 here, if we had Nasus 2, we would have kept our streak. This game would have been so like let me get Lux 2 the next shot, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. Um but yeah, we will continue to roll at 7 this game. We should, at least until Nasus 2. The next in here is Swain. Swain works really well as another strategist and a Sork for Lux. But yeah, we should just keep rolling here. Ooh, are we really thinking about going 8? Okay, JG Lux is of course good. And then we can, oh, I think we already had the Morellos there. Yeah, I think I'm thinking about going 8 here because we're completely uncontested. I guess. I probably would have just rolled at 7 for Nasus, but I think the idea is that I can hit on 8. It's actually hilarious trying to figure out what my past thinking was. I probably like future me would just roll to 0 here, or not to 0, but until we find Nasus 2, because it's so easy. And like, look, we're gonna take a bunch of damage here that we shouldn't. Like, imagine if we had rolled earlier. I'm pretty sure right here I'm like kicking myself. Like, why didn't I just roll, man? Why, man? It's so easy. Because now I go 8. Like, imagine if I miss here. We hit a Scion, but I'm pretty sure Swain is still Bis. Yeah, there's the Swain, and yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a better unit than Scion. Okay, now we're at a point where you could think about not rolling it to 0 because we have 3 out of 4 cost 2 stars. Still, if you're like really low HP here, if you're like 1 life, I think it's probably fine to start rolling. It's just that we have no pair, so it's actually kind of awkward. But our board should be very strong. And like, look at this lobby. Actually, it's actually very favorable for us. You know what's crazy is that the Rek'Sai wraps this fight, and it actually doesn't matter because this board just has so much single target. Like, it's the single target on this board is insane. But yeah, like you see there, I think that was, is that the built diff player? I think this is the game where there's a built diff player holding onto Nasus's. Yeah, it is. It's like even if you aren't contested, it's also it's like very likely that some people are just playing random Jarvans. Some people will play like Sorks instead of this comp, but they'll be contesting your Luxes. Like that's why I like just rolling it so aggressively during stage 4 because like so many people are gonna be taking your forecast out of the pool. And in a normal lobby, you're also gonna be giga contested, like 2 or 3 other people. I had a lobby earlier today where I was 4-way. There were 4 other people playing this comp, and so that's why I really like to just roll super deep. Yeah, I think I was considering the protectors, but I mean blue buff here is really nice on Lux. I think Shojin is just best in slot on her, just because of the buffs to it. Like it just gives really good stats. But blue buff is of course fine. So yeah, I think BIS Lux is Shojin plus Gunblade, and then BIS Azir is probably like Static Shiv, Gunblade, Guinsoo. So you know, like we have close to BIS everyone, and obviously like JG is fine. Guardbreaker is a solid item on either one of them. They actually like they both do pretty well with Guardbreaker, especially like Static Shiv Azir, right? The static can proc Guardbreaker, and then like Lux, if she's like hitting a Guardbreaker target, she'll burn through the shield and then have the Guardbreaker apply. But yeah, you see we are already just like win streaking with this board. A really nice thing about playing Vlad with this comp is you guarantee the triple combat augment. You're never playing down an augment, you know? Like you'll notice some people, if they take like an econ augment or if they take some other kind of augment, they're going to be playing down an augment late game. Even the people who take item components, like it gives you components, but like once you have all your carries itemized, like the extra components don't really do anything. So like I really like Vlad with this comp. I've started playing Ez a little bit more recently, just because I wanted to not hard force this comp. Um, but I do think like if you want to hard force this comp and do what I did here, just like basically full open into 3-5 roll down for this comp, and then most people aren't rolling at 3-5. You'll have a lot of gold. If you manage your loss streak correctly, you'll be in a good spot. I think just take TG Jarvan here. I like TG Jarvan a lot. If we knew we were gonna like infinite more items, ooh, I take GS Lux. Oh, I'm a genius. Um, okay, yeah, I roll a bit here. I'm really just looking for Jarvan too. Oh yeah, I need a third Azir item. What am I talking about, man? I'm like looking at other stuff. Okay, so to talk about a few of the things that I'm doing here, I had the Jarvan, I had the Lux. I realized that there's the build diff player is playing Nasus. Oh, I had the Nasus, I had the Lux. I realized the build diff player is playing Nasus, so I don't really want to. And I'm just rolling it down to 30 every round here to try to find the stupid Jarvan, because Jarvan 2 spikes my board a lot. But yeah, there's no way I'm hitting Nasus through this game because this guy has 3 Nasus out of the pool. But after the other, there was like another Sorks player or Azir player, I think. Um, but after that, no one else is playing Lux, so it's actually very, very realistic for me to hit Lux 3 this game. It is a little bit sad because, I'm killing this guy off, so now like so many 4 costs are going back into the pool. But yeah, I'm just going to roll it down to 30 every round. I think 30 is fine. And then ideally I can find one Jarvan. And I finally do, which is really nice. Um, so yeah, I have 6 Luxes. I'm in a pretty strong position. This guy's 4 HP. Oh, I think is this? Yeah, this is the Akshan 3 player. Pretty woke board actually. Akshan 3 with built diff, and the Akshan just snipes me across the map. It's actually so annoying. Akshan 3 is really annoying for this comp because you really do want to corner your carry. And very often, what will happen in this fight happens where like Jarvan's gonna jump into their team. Nasus ends up being like on the edge, and you don't actually hit, or you do get hit by it. So I see a Lux on Carousel. I know I'm only 2 Luxes off. And I know they're actually holding a lot of 4 costs, so I just say, fuck it, I'm going to roll. And the second I see 1 Lux, I say, okay, I'm just going to send it to 0. And boom, that is Lux 3. And it is GG. It is impossible for them to win. You know what sucks about this game, actually, is they FF'd, so you don't actually see the Lux 3 in my match history. But yeah, this is how I climbed a lot over the weekend. I think it's a very, very solid strategy. Obviously, if you're 10-way contested, it becomes worse. But because you're rolling on 3-5, it actually feels okay. And versus if you're like waiting until 4-1 or 4-2 to roll, then like everyone's taking them all out of the pool. So it's yeah, it's an interesting idea. I like the comp a lot. I like Vladimir when you're playing this style if you want to hard force it. And then all the little technology that I talked about for loss streaking, that Trima board that does so well at killing units. Um, you know, be actively scouting. It's hard to play loss streak like this optimally, but it is very rewarding, as you can see in this game. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the link to my Twitch down below. Thank you.